Sports. I'm out here at RGBA today here with Robert Garcia. Robert, you got a lot of people in the gym today. You got a lot of work. I've seen a lot of good work so far. What's your feeling on the fighters you got going in there right now, and all of these fighters that you got coming up?
Well, we got some big fights coming up, bro. I got fights this weekend with Javier Martinez in a very important fight. Probably the most important fight of his career. We got Chop Chop Gonzalez, Albert Chop Chop Gonzalez, who's gonna fight for top rank for the first time, and if he looks impressive, everything, I'm pretty sure we'll get a contract. So very important. And then obviously next week we got Bam versus Gallo, and we got 3 on the undercard: Gabriel Garcia, Arturo Cardenas, and Leonardo Rubalcaba.
Yeah. Now
and it goes on.
Yeah.
July 6th, July 13th.
Non-stop
every weekend.
Now, speaking of Javier, he's facing Troy Isley, big, strong fighter, undefeated. When they offered that fight, was it something where you knew, this is the best shot for him to get, moved forward with coming off a win?
Well, you come to a point where you need those type of fights to move on to the next level. I think Troy is in the same situation with Top Rank. They're already in a level where they have to step it up. They have to go out there and test themselves, and obviously both fighting for Top Rank. The winner moves on, and the one that loses gets pink slip.
Yeah.
That's just the way boxing is, man. They have to go through that. Every fighter goes through it. We know Troy is a great fighter, very talented. I believe they fought like 4 times in the amateurs, and I think they're 2-2. So it's one of those fights where the winner moves on. The other one has to get back to the beginning and work their ass off back to the top.
And then next week, obviously, you said Bam. You got Gabriel Garcia on there as well. With Bam and Gallo, what are you seeing? And obviously Gallo being such a legendary fighter, probably one of the top 10 Mexican fighters over the last dozen years. What do you see for Bam? And then how tough do you expect that fight to be?
Well, no, look, Gallo's a very experienced fighter, one of the best fighters in Mexico, especially probably pound for pound right now, active fighters. Probably one of the most talented ones, in boxing right now when it comes to Mexicans. But Bam, I think is also special. I think it's gonna be a fight where Bam's gonna go out there and shine, But we can't take it lightly. We know what we got in front of us. We got to go out there and do our job. Bam is ready for it. He's motivated. He's excited about this fight. So come June 29th, he's gonna go out there and show what he's trained to do. But we can't take Gallo lightly. Gallo's a legend. He's a superstar, Mexican, great fighter, one of the greatest, of the last 10 years at least. So we got to be well prepared.
Now with Bam, he's got this fight. He's got his baby coming after the fight. Is he going to take a much-needed break? Because he's been very active over the last few years.
Well, you know what? Obviously, in boxing, we got to keep our fighters active. I like to keep my fighters active at least twice a year, especially when you're a world champion, fighting world championship fights, at least twice. But me, preferably, I would like to have them fight 3 times a year. But a lot of times, promotions don't work at that right now, and a lot of promotions only fight them once a year, once every 18 months. But at least twice. I want my fighters to stay busy at least twice a year.
Now, you got a couple brothers in here, Raymond and Gabriel. Gabriel's coming up, it's a big fight for him. He's going to be on the undercard. He's fought on a couple different promotions cards. What's this fight looking like for him, and then is there a possibility of him getting a contract?
Well, you know what? That's what they all know. All my fighters know when they get in, when I take them to the next level, to a big promoter, they got to go out there and perform. And if they perform, they'll get a contract. They'll get a contract. I've done that with all my fighters when they're ready. Chop Chop is ready now. Gabriel is ready now, so that's why I'm putting them in the next level. Early in their careers, I build them up little by little. Fights in Mexico, my own cards. When I do my shows here in California, I put them on my cards just to start building them. And then when they're ready, that's when I put them in there with somebody, with a top promoter. And Gabriel is there now. I think this fight is gonna show what he can do, and after this, I think we'll get something coming out from Matchroom. They've already told me there's future fights in September here in LA. So if he looks impressive, he looks good, more likely we'll be back in September with him.
Okay. Now, with Raymond, obviously this is a big fight for him. He's fighting a former world champion, Tevin Farmer. He should be mandatory across the board. WBO champion, just beat Navarrete for it. Do you think that could be next? Should he get by Farmer?
Well, look, I would love that fight. I would love that fight. I think Raymond has the tools to become champion, but right now at this point, we just want an opportunity. It doesn't matter which champion it is. Obviously, Top Rank has this guy that just beat Navarrete. I think they got a few options, so I would love that opportunity. But they also have Lomachenko. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with Shakur, because I think Shakur has one more fight with Top Rank. So I don't know if he's going to re-sign or redo a deal. I really don't know. But we just need that opportunity. I think after this fight, Raymond should be number one, and at least in the WBC for sure. I'm trying to push WBC, WBO, IBF, whichever one. Those are fights that are easy to make because Top Rank works with all the champions right now. So we just have to go out there and perform against him and Farmer, former world champion, so we can take it lightly. But if everything goes well and he looks good the way we expect, then hopefully we have a title fight next.
Okay, and then speaking of that weight division, 135, Tank just fought Saturday night. How did you see that fight, and did anything surprise you with the outcome?
I think Tank's the real deal. I was a little surprised because I thought Frank was going to put up a really good fight, and he did. He put up some really good rounds, but it was just a matter of whenever Tank made up his mind. He was kind of just cruising through it, the first few rounds. But whenever he decided to, he went out there and took care of business. I thought it was going to be a little more competitive fight. I thought Martin was going to put up a little more competitive fight and maybe go towards the end of the rounds. But Tank is something special, man. Tank has that special power, that special confidence. He's a great fighter.
Now, obviously, we have a couple fights for you that also fell out with Virgil and Tim Tszyu. How's that looking like going forward for Virgil? And then, who would you like for him to fight if you have a preference?
Well, you know what? I know there's, the champions are already, got plans. They already have fights lined up. So right now, I think the one that I would prefer most is the WBC interim champion.
Wojciech?
Yes, that's the one I would prefer because that puts us as an interim champion, which is already a world champion, but in line to fight for the world title. We know what's his name? Crawford. No, I mean Spence is fighting Fundora for the WBC. So that puts Virgil becoming the WBC interim champion, puts him in line to fight for the world title. And if they don't want to fight him, then Virgil becomes the champion automatically. So that's my first choice. But it's a business, and Golden Boy is going to do their job. Rick Morrigan is going to do his job. You're asking me what my preference was, and that's my preference. But at the end, whatever's best for the promotion also. So at the end, they're the ones that are going to make the decision. But that would be my preference.
Now, obviously, one of the bigger names, just name-wise, is Ryan, who's thrown himself into that ring to the hat with Virgil. Do you, by chance, see that fight happening at some point, or is it you feel Ryan's just doing more talk?
I think it's a fight that Ryan would take because Ryan, that's Ryan. Ryan will fight. The way he's been fight, like the way he fought Tank. Just called him. I said that's who I want to fight and fought him, and then goes after Haney. I think he's got the power to say that's who I'll fight, and anybody's gonna want to fight him because why? Because they're gonna get the biggest fight in their career, the biggest payday. Him calling out Virgil, I think he will do it, but at this point, I just think Ryan's got a lot of things going on with his career, with his life, stuff that he needs to take care of first, especially with the positive test. I don't know what they're going to end up doing, if they're going to end up suspending him for a few months or maybe just giving him a fine. I really don't know. So we got to see what happens first, But yeah, I think he will fight. If they were to put it together, I would love it. Why not?
Okay. And then last ones here for local. Jose Ramirez has been out for a couple months now after his fight in April. One of the names you mentioned for him was Gabriel Martinez, who just suffered a loss on Saturday. Is there any talks for who Jose's going to come back with, and is there any truth to the rumor that Barboza is the leading candidate right now?
Well, I think they did mention something with Barboza, and that was probably the leading candidate. But right now, I'm not sure. Jose's probably not going to fight till September, maybe October. So I don't know if Barboza's plans are to fight anytime sooner. If he wins, and that's going to be that, then I would love that fight. Barboza's a great fighter. Southern California versus Central California would be huge. In LA or wherever, Vegas. It would be a big fight. If it does happen, we'll be ready. Obviously Barbosa's a great person too, so I don't wish him bad. I wish him the best. But I don't know. That's Rick Marigan and Golden Boy's job. Once they get everything lined up, then they'll let me know, and we'll start getting ready. But any champion would be also a great fight for Jose. I think Jose is in a position where he wants to become champion again, and Matias lost. That sucks because he's a big name. But now the guy that beat him is also available. We don't know. Whatever. There's 4 champions in each division, and if whoever we get, that's what we're going after.